That's so much ice. Like, it's crazy amount of ice. Hello and welcome back to Raspberry Rock. I'm Russell and this is Raspberry Rock. So I spent a couple of days in the city on the weekend. Our youngest son was getting married. So it was a nice little wedding, small wedding, just me and City Girl attending. It was nice. After living here so long, it's kind of surreal to go back to the city sometimes. Like, I showered 2 days in a row. It was wild, you know? Anyway, before we get to the ice storm, this. Last couple of days I've been doing some of the non-glamorous jobs here at Raspberry Rock. Like picking up dog poop. Hate doing it. It's one of the first things I should have tried to teach them when I brought them here, is where to poop and where not to poop. And I never bothered. And try as I might for like several months, through December, January, and February, pretty much, I tried to get them to poop down the trail there and off to the left. And they just didn't catch on. It didn't work. It didn't settle into their brains that that's where I want you to poop. So, of course, you know, I still get poop around here. One thing I've been doing differently than I used to do is every morning after I get up and feed them, I'll take them down the trail, like about 5 minutes down the trail, not very far, but they tend to do their business when I take them out like that, somewhere down there. And they usually know not to do it right on the trail themselves. So I figure if that reduces the poops around the cabin by half, then that's a win, right? Won't have to pick up so much. Anyway, one of the non-glamorous jobs here at Raspberry Rock, and with my poor color vision, I have problems seeing them. It's easier now because the colors are all really bland anyway. But at different times of the year, I can't see them. The other non-glamorous job I've done, well, actually it's not that non-glamorous. I'm planting a potato. You saw last week how City Girl planted some tomato plants, and they're doing fairly well. I'll show them to you, like right now. I'll show them to you. But I'm going to plant a potato in a pot. It's just a potato that's been sitting on the countertop, and it started growing eyes, so, you know, whatever. Might as well get it started. It's March 27th today. So, also in last video, you would have seen me put this out and leave it out. I was a little ahead of my time, actually, because we've had some really cold days since then. And if there's water in the line right now, then it's frozen. Because we've hit minus temperatures overnight. It's like 7 degrees right now, so it might have warmed up. I don't know. 7 degrees in Fahrenheit is going to be like 44 Fahrenheit, something like that. My panel, this one panel fell over and hit this rock right here as I stand in the sun, and shattered it. Interestingly, this was the panel, I think. Maybe not, it's hard to tell right now. I thought that was the panel that wasn't used. Too hard for me to tell, actually. But anyway, I had 10 panels on the roof. I wasn't using one of them. Oh, here's another thing, too. Now I've got this bright yellow line and this bright white hose snaking off across the yard. Bit of an eyesore, actually. And I don't know how to cover it up. I mean, I suppose I could find some kind of green conduit or something like that. On the other hand, I mean, right now, there's no growth around here, right? There's nothing growing. There's no bush. But a month from now, this place will just be... And we won't see any of that. We'll see it right here. But we won't see... Pretty much from here on, we won't see it. So do I got to worry about it? Or should I... What? And I still haven't... done anything with this. I think if I move that wood, I can just kind of turn this on its side, maybe take the handle off and just shove it under there, and that'll be it for it. Rather than, I mean, the only other obvious choice is to mount it here, but it'll still be in the way as we're walking around the cabin. So I think just shoving it underneath is as good as any solution. Well, what's up? We've been going on hikes, trying to get back into shape. Got out of it for a while and gonna get back into it. Gonna lose some weight. They've been enjoying it. Oh, it's perfect conditions for hiking right now. We go out in the ATV trail, and the ground's frozen because it's minus temperatures every night. And so it's easy walking. There's no snow or ice on the trail. I just keep marching on through. It's wonderful conditions, just absolutely wonderful. When it hits about midday and if the sun is shining like today, then in some areas the mud has melted, so it's a bit muddy. I can usually get around that. You can see there's still ice in the pond. It's March 27th today, right? There was one April when we still had ice in the pond, and City Girl and I actually walked through the little valley there onto the next beaver pond. It was still frozen, and walked around to our lunch spot, which is over there about half a kilometer. So, but then sometimes we lose the ice, mid-March. Kind of depends on temperatures, right? I'm doing this walking talking thing because I really don't have a video for you guys other than, this. So this is kind of like an update video. Let me talk here about the water tank. Or what do I call this? If I'm calling the tank inside the water tank, what do I call this? The rain water tank that catches from the water from the downspout here. Right now I've got so much water coming out of the well that I don't need to hook this up, and probably into July, I want to say, there will be lots of water in that well. It's going to depend on a lot of factors, of course. Spring is always really wet, so that well is like, well, we'll go down there and let's take a look. I'm betting it's completely full. Look at this. I haven't even put this away yet. And now there's my bit still sitting there. And, oh yeah, I haven't cleaned up the plastic down there. That's another thing I should do today. I don't know how to do that, actually. Just sit there and pick it out of the dirt, or should I use a shovel? See, here is where it can be difficult to find the dog poops. They usually don't, no, there's one right there. They usually don't do it on trails like this one. So I'm pretty safe. Anywhere in here, though, is, or down here. Down here is like perfect because I never go in this area over here. But you can see, take a look. This wasn't recent, but the beavers have come up here and done this, right? All these little trees right there. All in here, they've taken stuff down. And I don't mind that they do that because we got enough trees as it is. I'm just surprised they come up this far, with the dogs being around. Isn't that gorgeous? Man, I cannot get enough of this view. Whoa. Let's see if I can slide this nicely. All right, let me take this off. Yeah, so we're way up past the join between the barrels. So tons of water. You know what? And I want to do. I noticed watching the video last time that these two things were keeping the lid from being flat against there. So I'm just going to cut those off right now. I don't need them there. I don't think. Got this classic Swiss Army knife off of Amazon. I just wanted something small for my pocket. That's it. Stay up. Hopefully that looked good. City Girl will be back one of these weekends. Oh, look at my my wrapping job. Bit of a fail. I've got all this sitting here. Oh, my yep. City Girl will be back this weekend, and one of the things she's always wanted to do is, I don't know if I want to say this, because then I'll have to do it. Maybe not this weekend, but she wants the area right by the porch, just before you go into the cabin, or just before you go up onto the porch, is really rocky. Lots of rocks there. Some of it's bedrock, but some of it's just rocks. And she wants to take Bumblebee over there and dig those rocks out and try and smooth it down. It'll be an exercise in, I don't know. I don't think it's going to be as fun as she thinks it will be. Working Bumblebee is just like, you get shaken around like crazy. Almost time to take the kayak out. The beavers have been coming out. As soon as the pond freezes on that side, and it thaws there first. Every year it has, because probably it's sunny and it always thaws around the edges first. So as soon as that area opens up, even if there's a few feet of water, the beavers will be out, and they'll be all over that shore over there. There'll be like 6 or 7 of them all up on the shore, like eating, I don't know, grass and leaves and stuff. I really don't know what they're eating. Roughage? Haven't gotten any roughage all winter long. And if you didn't know what you're looking for, you'd probably miss them, because they're hardly moving. They're just kind of sitting there going. Nom, 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 nom. But I know when I see a black dot where there wasn't one, that's a beaver. Having a good day? Look at this. This is one of the luckiest dogs in the world. She doesn't know it. And then this is the other one. She doesn't know it either. yeah, so I had looked at the weather report, and I saw this rain on the weekend. I thought, okay, well, like it's like an inch of rain, inch and a half rain. What is that? 20, 30 millimeters. And no, normally, like it's like okay, whatever. We're getting some rain. This time of year, not great to get a lot of rain because it's already so wet, and some of the areas I drive through on the ATV are just already like really high. I don't need any more water, right? But I'd seen all this rain. I thought, okay, whatever. And I got talking to City Girl, and she said, "Well, I don't think I can come to the cabin this weekend." I said, "What? Why?" Oh, so apparently I missed the fact that it's freezing rain, not just regular rain. Like starting Friday night, going through Saturday, today, and into tomorrow, Sunday, nothing but freezing rain. Like that's so much ice. Like it's crazy amount of ice. Like okay, so we got a layer of snow last night. A thin layer of snow, and then it started freezing rain after that. So there's a layer of ice on top of the snow. This morning when I took the dogs out on our morning hike, we didn't go very far. They did their business pretty quick, so we didn't have to go very far. But my feet were actually going through the ice and hitting the snow, so it wasn't too slippery. Like still slippery and slippery in a lot of spots where there wasn't any snow, of course. But it was okay. So we didn't go very far, and I turned around to come back in, still on the trail, and I hear this crack above me, and I kind of went, "Where is it? Where is it? Where is it?" Right? And I didn't see anything coming down, so I just went like this, and all these tiny little branches hit me, and I looked up and went, "Ah." So I think what happened is a bigger branch let loose. That was the big crack, and it fell on other branches and got stuck, but it knocked off lots of little branches that came down and hit me. So I got lucky there, right? But I don't, there's going to be lots of stuff down on the trail, and it's not just me. I heard this morning that there's tens of thousands of homes in Ontario that are without power. Most of them are like mid-Ontario, like north of Toronto, north of Richmond Hill. And in Aurora, where our condo is, City Girl said they got nothing there. I think a little bit of rain. So they got lucky, but in the more rural areas, of course, they get hit hard. And on Monday, I'm going to have to get on the ATV and take the chainsaw with me down the trail and see what I find. And maybe bring it back as firewood. You never know. Why waste it, right? Yeah, so this morning I was breaking through the ice. At 11:15 I went out, and I couldn't break through the ice anymore. I had to go get some firewood, so I'm like, oh shoot. So it was a bit treacherous, going to the firewood pile, or what's left of the firewood pile. I had a tiny bit of seasoned firewood, and I brought in a load of dead wood a few weeks ago. It's lasted a long time. So we're still good for now. Anyway, Ice Storm 2025. I don't know what I'm calling this video, but maybe I'll call it Ice Storm 2025. Anyway, City Girl isn't here this weekend, but she should be here next weekend. Weather permitting. And usually it is. That's going to be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you next time. Peace out.